The opening line of this film was, "You're never more alive than when you're a teenager." And I openly said bullshit out loud alone in my room like I am right now. So yeah, that was pretty much my relationship with this film. Not to say it's complete garbage, because that would be a bit unfair, but damn, a lot about this film could be fixed if Lili Reinhart's character had just gone to therapy a bit earlier, right? So, Chemical Hearts is a new movie on Amazon Prime about a girl who moves to a new school shortly after a car accident that injured her and killed her boyfriend. So she meets this quiet, nerdy guy who loves writing, and they begin working on the school newspaper together. Despite her being quiet, rude, just generally not very nice to him, they manage to strike up a friendship, which leads into something a little bit more fairly quickly, really. For one of these films, they move on to actual very quickly, because I mean, they must meet like when they go back to school at the start of the year in like September, and or do Americans go back to school earlier? Oh, I don't know. But then they're already, you know, by Halloween, which seems fast, but you kind of understand it as the film goes on. Anyway, she's basically trying to sort through all of the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad emotions that come with something like that having happened to her, and I mean, use this poor guy as a punch bag to work them out on. Yeah, she doesn't really seem to talk to anybody about this stuff, and then she starts talking to him about some of it and doesn't other times, and she just, yeah, having something like that happen to her basically turned her into like a teenager times 11, you know, which does indeed make this one of those. It's an angsty teen drama romance. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh god. It's interesting to me that Lili Reinhart tried to escape Riverdale and the stigmas that come with playing one of those characters by doing this, because Riverdale is a show where everyone is overly emotional and super dramatic and all these crazy things happen while you're a teenager. And in this, it's just like, yeah, no, it's that, but written from a point of view of characters who are like more focused on studies, you know? Yeah, it's not really her fault, obviously, that she feels this way and that this thing happened to her, but you really feel a lot of the time like, geez, this guy's just taking a lot of shit for nothing all the time. And I mean, that's what you get when you enter a relationship with somebody and you're there for them and stuff, but dear lord, like, you know, you just feel the whole movie like she's a bit of a bitch, unfortunately, and he's just, I mean, you kind of feel sympathetic for him in one way because he's taking all this shit, but in another way you're just kind of like, oh man, you just gotta lean back, not go for her so much. Also, he follows her at one point, stalks her to her dead boyfriend's grave. Like, he was sitting with his friends and they were like, God, I mean, you could follow her, and they were all like, and then he's following her, and it's meant to be like a funny bit. It doesn't come off as that. It didn't come off as that to me. It was just kind of like, oh god, he's actually doing that. This is actually the kind of film that wants us to feel sympathetic for this guy who starts stalking this girl. Anyway, here is my 1 minute review for Chemical Hearts.
That being young is so painful. It's almost too much to feel.
It is fairly well written, but that doesn't particularly save it, because it's filling it up, the script, with like these nice quotes and stuff like that to try and make it seem profound, and it's not. It's not really. It's kind of it's a lot like Amazon Prime's version of All the Bright Places, you know? It's meant to be this grief-stricken character, but there's only a couple of scenes where she really gets like emotional about all this. The rest of the time it's just dead-eyed, you know? And you're just kind of like, oh, what fun to watch this for such a long time. I just feel like it's not the best way to show that when this kind of thing happens, you need to get help, a proper kind of help. And she never, well, she does at the very end, but it's kind of like, oh, God, no, it's not sending the right messages and stuff for me. But it wasn't awful. It was okay. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm giving this 65 out of 100. It's not brilliant, but it does kind of basically match up to something like All the Bright Places for me, you know? So, sure. And that's all for this 1 minute review, dear eggs. There's a lot of Amazon original movies out there, so let me know which ones you want to see get a 1 minute review. And don't forget to please subscribe. Bye!